Greetings to my team of 144, all Starseeds, Lightworkers, and Wayshowers. Another day of intense energies coming in. We are rising up. We are rising to the occasion. A couple quick updates, and I'm going to read from you today from the Harmonic Convergence 2020 about some master numbers and these timelines that we are shifting into. Today, I was reading that on the solstice on June 21st, that the Earth was blasted with the highest energy photons ever recorded, which they believe came from the Crab Nebula. And this was recorded in the observatory in Tibet, in the Tibetan Plateau. Many intense heat waves around the planet right now, many earthquakes. The Ring of Fire is very active right now. Everything is shifting, accelerating, and intensifying as we go through this Ascension shift. Today's update from Michael Love, Critical Earth Alliance update, 625-2019. Great ones. The Earth Alliance is reporting that over the last 48 hours, Pleiadian Delta forces have removed the largest amount of astral debris from around the surface of the Earth to date. The major clearing of energetic debris has cleared the way for closer contact with our great family of light. Delta forces directing Operation Freedom Earth recently closed and eliminated a major artificial and negative energy portal coming into the Earth from the Regal star system. The energy portal has been open and streaming dark energy into the 3D matrix for the last 350,000 years, and has generated the worst atrocities recorded in Earth's history. Scout ships docked in Earth atmosphere are being witnessed, filmed, and recorded in record numbers now, as light forces continue decloaking in the largest disclosure event in human history. The Earth Alliance further reports that NASA recently deflected and filmed a massive plasma craft larger than planet Earth emerging from the solar portal, doing coronal work around the sun. Pleiadian light forces are here en masse in our solar system at this time to assist in the spiritual evolution of the inhabitants of Earth. Inside Earth Alliance chatter indicates that the event has now moved into its final phase, and the full 5D ascension of all starseeds on Earth is imminent and will trigger at any moment now. Etheric uplinks have provided data that shows that July 4th, 2019 is a critical Earth date marker in the event timeline. Dear ones, a historical and incredible planetary liberation operation is underway from the sky to the ground as powerful light forces descend down onto the surface. And a close encounter of the most extraordinary kind is about to take place. This is your grand hour, and we are here to witness the closing of your incredible mission across the cosmos. Thank you for coming to Earth at this time and for your great service to all of humanity. Godspeed, Michael and the Pleiadians, from 5DEarthProject.com. The next transmission from Harmonic Convergence 2020, 3344. The master number synchronization of the new dispensation of time. NS1.31.12.25. Kin 241 7 Dragon. The synchronic order was revealed to aid us in the shift from egotistical consciousness trapped in the illusion of the material plane to a collective planetary consciousness known as the noosphere. The synchronic order does by showing us the hidden synchronicities that give deeper meaning to our lives and the events that inform them. That was from Jose Arguelles. From the perspective of the synchronic order, the higher mathematical order of reality, organized in time by time, today marks a key synchronization milestone on the human evolutionary timeline. The completion of 32 years, solar rings since the start, the alpha point, of the first Zolkin of the new dispensation of time, June 23rd, 1987, Kin 1 Dragon 1.1. Therefore, starting tomorrow, we will be entering into the 33rd solar cycle since the initiation of the dream spell matrix of Kin 1, 1.1. This prophetic entrance into the 33rd solar orbit of the new timeline will come to an end in 1 year on June 23rd, 2020, Omega, and is highlighted today by the fact that it's taking place as we also enter into the 13th and the final 20-day harmonic of the 44th Tzolk'in matrix since ground zero of the new dispensation of time. As highlighted on prior milestone markers on this page, this 44th matrix started on October 26, 2018, Kin 1, 1.1, and synchronized with the 5th Venus plus Earth conjunction since the rare Venus transit of 2012, and multiple prophetic factors and actors. Let's dive deep into this new master number synchronization portal enshrined by other unique fractal time factors. DNA template fractal milestone. The completion of 32 years from the new dispensation of time is also of key harmonic significance, as 32 corresponds to one perfect half of 64. The human DNA code is comprised of 64 codons, and each cell normally contains 23 pairs of chromosomes, inverse of 32, for a total of 46. From this fractal evolutionary perspective within the human lifespan, the completion of 64 Tzolk'ins is also followed by the completion of 46 years. 64 times 260 days equals 16,640 days. 46 times 365 equals 16,790 days. Out of this 32-year period, the 16 years comprised between 1997 and 2013 correspond to the 16-year cube of the law. Within this 260-unit Tzolk'in matrix, the master program that coordinates life, the DNA code, corresponds to the 64 units, 32 plus 32, and closing the double helix pattern at the heart of the 1320 harmonic module. Day 25, moon 25, year 25, and that's a 777. Today also marks a triple alignment of number 25, 5 times 5 at different time scales. On the 364 plus 1 day lunar solar count, today corresponds to day 25 of the 12th moon of the 13 moon year. On the 1 kin equals 1 moon fractal count of 260 moons, this 12th moon is coded by kin 25, 12 serpent. On the 260-day galactic count today, we are entering the 13th and the final 20-day harmonic of the Tzolk'in matrix, comprised from kin 241 to kin 260. Kin 241, 7 dragon, is guided by kin 33, 11 plus 22, and marked the exact midpoint of the new Sirius cycle 25, day 15th of the 7th moon of the 7-storm year, signaling the full transition threshold into the dimensional shift of the 2012 to 2013 event horizon. The exact midpoint of 13-year cycle that started on July 26, 2006, kin 209, 1 moon, and that we are about to conclude on July 25th, 2019, kin 13, 1313, is a cycle of paramount importance considering that it was back then at the start of the magnetic moon year, July 26, 2006, when the 13 moon 28-day matrix and the Tzolk'in matrix entered into the perfect resonance, giving birth to a once in every 52-year event, the perfect alignment of the 7th central column of the 260-day Tzolk'in with the 7th central moon of the 364 plus 1 day sequence of the 13 moon year. Today we are completing 9 Zolkins of 260 days since we crossed this key prophetic midpoint of new Sirius Cycle 25 on January 24th, 2013. That's NS1.25.7.15, Kin 241, 7 Dragon. This milestone was divinely synchronized with the launch of the Harmonic Convergence 2013 to 2020 Facebook page. Therefore, today we give thanks to be able to celebrate with you the arrival to this master synchronization point in real time. 3 days to enter the 13th moon. It is also important to remember that last June 1st, 2019, NS1.31.12.3, Kin 21911 Storm, we also completed 25 years from the opening of the sarcophagus of the Queen Zakbu Ajah at Temple 13 in the ancient city of Palenque, Lakamha. In 3 days we will be entering the 13th moon temple of the 13 moon year coded by Kin 169, 13 times 13, that will come to an end, Omega point, next day at a time, which is July 25th, 2019, Kin 13, 1313. This coming day out of time will also mark the end, Omega point, of the 28-year Telektanan of Pakal Votan that started on July 26th, 1991, Kin 194-12 Wizard. Exactly 4 Zolkins prior to the opening of the tomb at the Temple 13 on June 1st, 1994. Fractal Redemption in Time. On the fractal count of the 13 Baktun map of recorded history, Kin 241 also corresponds to the entrance to the most turbulent period of human evolution. The 13th and final Baktun of the Mayan long count. On this fractal time compression count, 1 day corresponds to 1 Katun, 7,200 days. This 20-day period comprises the rise of the Third Babel, represented by the Vatican and the enactment of the Gregorian Reform of 1582 during the Katun coded by Kin 239. In other words, during the next 20 days we have the opportunity to redeem this dark period for humanity. In an analog way, as the ancient temples were occulted by the jungle, it was during this 13th Baktun of 144,000 days when the advanced beauty and mathematical harmony of the Mesoamerican calendars were covered by a calendar of disharmony, disconnected from the natural cycles of the cosmos and the cyclical power of the number 13. Considering the current critical state of the planetary emergency we are now experiencing, this is a perfect opportunity to travel back in time and to revisit the report represented 260 days ago on Tortuga1320.com, and that's Tortuga1320.com, entitled The Fractal Redemption of the Error in Time. Baktun 13, The Redemption of the Mechanization of Time. It was during the 13th Baktun of recorded history when the European expansion and the colonization of the New World by the Old World took place by the Mesoamerican temples, were covered either by the jungle or by the cathedrals built on top of them by the Catholic Church. During this period we have been witnessing a clash of epic proportions between the two main archetypal antagonistic forces playing now on Earth, the forces behind entropy and chaos, and the forces behind evolution and harmony. Contrast leads to clarity. These two main archetypal forces are forging two increasingly distinctive and diametrically opposed realities that are coming to terms on the surface of polarized collective movie screen in the form of the many obscure geopolitical dramas and dystopian narratives that we have been witnessing proliferate across the cybersphere and the mainstream media during the past year. The current exacerbation of these unconscious thought forms seem to represent a new critical stage of the moral collapse of modern civilization, a new stage in the collapse of the Tower of Babel archetypal construct. The collective shadow self of humanity is coming now to the surface of our shared reality to be consciously addressed, integrated, and released in order to start a new galactic cycle with a clean and renewed perspective of the future ahead of us. What kind of future are we envisioning? Baktun 13, Human versus Machine. To close this note, we consider important to bring back to memory this excerpt from the Campaign of the New Time. Jose Arguelles offered his own vision of this climactic period of the biosphere-noosphere transition crisis and the synthesizing with great skill the transcendental relevance of the 13th Baktun of recorded history in the context of our multi-layered and simultaneous present-day crisis taking place around the world. By examining the 13th Baktun cycle, AD 1618 through 2012, we have a clear register of the course of the 1260 artificial timing frequency and its world dominance. It took 7 of the 20 Katuns of the final Baktun cycle to establish the revolution of the 1260 science and generate the Industrial Revolution, while in the final 13 Katuns of a total of 260 Katuns, the whole complex of modern, or more accurately, Gregorian global civilization has risen. It is during the final 13 Katuns that the human species, under the total dominance of the 1260 timing frequency, has undergone an exponential explosion, the creation of the technosphere, and the subjugation and the destruction of the biosphere. From a population of 1/2 billion in 1750, the human species has increased 12-fold to more than 6 billion in a mere 250 years. Before 2012, at the present rate, another billion humans will be added to that figure. What does this mean as we rapidly approach the brick wall of time known as 2012? The purpose of the Great Cycle is to point out and define the moment of Judgment Day, the apocalypse of the Gregorian civilization, and the end of the artificial 1260 order of time. Given the exponential increase of man and machine, driven by money, it is more than obvious that by the final Katun, 1993 to 2012, we are rapidly approaching a saturation point in time. The chronotopological pond of history has filled up, and there is nowhere else to go. Only prophecy can puncture the otherwise closed container of human thought, enveloping the planet in the form of the 1260 technosphere. By virtue of their advanced knowledge of the nature of time and the development of science of time, the Maya alone were able to set forth a prophecy that establishes the criterion for determining the error in time and hence for understanding that Judgment Day had arrived. Inasmuch as the criterion is the distinction between the 1260 timing frequency, which governs all of human civilization and sets it apart from nature, and the 1320 universal timing frequency, which governs the whole of nature, the prophecy also sets forth the 13-moon, 28-day calendar as the instrument for making the decision to return to the universal timing frequency. Only by making this decision, says the time prophecy, will humanity avoid destruction and reap the benefits of the rewards for the righteous after the apocalyptic end time, that is the end of the 1260 time. Telektanon, the prophecy of time, was decoded during the first year of the final Katun, 13 Ahwa, the 260th Katun of the 260 Katuns of the cycle of history. This prophecy defined the 7-year chronotopology of the 7 years of prophecy, 1993 to 2000, or in the terms of the new dispensation of time, yellow magnetic seed, through white resonant wizard years. The purpose of the 7-year cycle was to alert humanity to the error in time and to avail it of the opportunity and the necessity of changing the calendar, replacing the Gregorian with the 13-moon, 28-day calendar. The effort made during the 7 years of prophecy resulted in the articulation of the law of time and the creation of a global seedbed of humans, aware of and even following the new time known as the planet Art network, or pan. Thus the ground was prepared for the next phase of the World 13 Moon calendar, change, peace, movement, and the application of the law of time, the campaign of the new time. The campaign for the new time, 2001. The 13 Moon calendar establishes a new harmonic standard for timekeeping that promotes greater access to our inherent creativity and capacity to live in right relationship with each other and the planet. The conditions for change are ripe, now more than ever. We do not have the luxury to ignore this clarion call. Our lives and the lives of generations yet to come depend on our willingness to do what must be done. Harmony, balance, and synchronicity is what we have to gain. Adopting a new calendar means a new society and a new way of doing things. The proactive choice now is to change the calendar yourself. That's right. The way to change the old paradigm is to begin to live by a timing standard that is a harmonic reflection of the cycles of nature. The 13-month moon 28-day calendar is an indigenous calendar for a sovereign humanity, a new calendar for a new time. Buckminster Fuller explained to me once that because our world is constructed from geometric relations to the golden ratio or the Fibonacci series, by thinking about geometry all the time, you can organize and harmonize your life with the structure of the world. That's by Einar Thorstein. Now you can learn more about this by going to 13months28days.info in Icke. So thank you for joining me today. Thank you for sharing your experiences in the comments below these videos and sharing your light and your love with myself and the world. We appreciate each and every one of you. Also be sure to check out the 7th Seal Summit, which is coming up July 5th, 6th, and 7th in Sedona, Arizona. You can check that out on our site, primedisclosure.com, and click on 7th Seal Summit at the top. This will be a gathering of many love workers and starseeds around the world in Sedona, the sacred center, the sacred vortex in Arizona, coming up in a couple weeks here. So many big things are coming up. The eclipse on July 2nd is going to be another massive wave coming in, more portals opening into the July 4th, which will be a massive energy wave. Up through the 7th, another big day for the shift for the Ascension will be July 17th, which will be leading us into the Lion's Gate on 8/8, and then the harmonic convergence on 8/15 through the 17th. Also, I would like to thank everyone that is sharing in the vision of the eagle flying with the condor and the Healing Retreat Center in South America and Ecuador. We are raising funds for this project. You can learn more about that on our primedisclosure.com and the CBD business. You can join us at cbdpeaceoil.com. That's cbdpeaceoil.com. And I'll put those links in the description below this video. So thank you all for joining us here in this great shift and this collective consciousness awakening for all of humanity in all realms, all timelines, all dimensions. Stay in the heart center. Keep walking your path with heart in the divine light of Prime Creator Source, the great mystery. I love you all. Namaste.